scheduling, analytics, project management.
You can upgrade your church's social media with tools to help you do these things and more.
But can you make those upgrades without upping your costs?
That's what today's episode is dedicated to, the best $0 social media tools for churches.
Let's dive in. Well, hey there and welcome to the Pro Church Tool Show. We're here to help you and your church navigate the biggest communication shift in 500 years. I'm Brady Shearer, your host. I'm joined as always by my co-host, who I'm staring directly into the eyes of. We call him Pastor Posture. It's Alexander Mills.
Hello.
And today we're talking about the best $0 social media tools for churches. Alexander, take us away with the first one.
This first one was a recommendation of mine, actually, on last week's Nucleus live class. Somebody wrote in and they say, hey, give me the best tool. And I said, the best tool is the one that is built into the platform. It's the one that's free. It's Instagram Insights.
Instagram Insights, available on creator and business accounts. You can go to your profile, click on Insights, or first click on Professional Dashboard if you have a business account, and then click on Insights. I always like to use 90-day intervals for looking at my insights. By default, Instagram will show you 30 days. Here's what I say in the social media measurement and performance tracking lesson of the social media module in Pro Church Certified. I'm just going to read you word for word what I have in this script. Quote, one of the most invaluable byproducts of being consistently active on social media is that you receive at scale unvarnished feedback. What do I mean? Well, if you've ever preached a sermon and someone has approached you in the lobby afterwards, generally what you'll hear is, oh, great sermon this weekend. Great word, Pastor. And it's not that your sermon didn't merit any critical feedback. It's just that face-to-face, in polite company, most people tend to keep that kind of thing to themselves. But that's not how social media works. And I'm not talking about rude comments. Your analytics and metrics will tell a story because people vote with their attention and time. These kinds of insights are not generic. This isn't broad social media advice. It is personalized to your church and your audience and your world. And it actually has implications beyond just social media. What I mean by that is when you see outlier posts, whether for good or bad, there's something there for you to learn about your church and your unique voice and DNA and culture and how that is overlapping with the needs of your community and the general population, which can help inform future messages and even ministry efforts. These are the kinds of insights that businesses routinely pay tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars for in the packaging of market research. This transcends our little social media department in church, but we get these insights as a free byproduct of being on social and being consistent with our posting. There are two types of disciplines in the world. There are static disciplines and fluid disciplines. A static discipline would be learning the guitar.
Okay.
E, A.
Right, that string is that string.
And it's that string in Stockholm. It's that string in Seattle.
Yeah.
It's the same everywhere. And you and I can learn the guitar, and the strings are going to do the same thing, and the sound is going to make the same sound, and the chords are going to make the same chords. Fluid disciplines are when there's another party involved that dramatically changes what you're doing. So let's use tennis as an example. I'm using these because Pastor over here, he plays tennis, he plays guitar. Okay, these are in his world. Okay, and if he doesn't play tennis, he grew up going to like the club. I moved to Niagara, and there's like this fancy club that everyone, we at White Oaks this weekend. No, I wasn't, okay?
We were there last night.
Exactly. Because fancy country club boy here, grew up playing tennis.
Our oldest son was playing tennis.
Oh, it's an embarrassment. Anyway, gosh, so on the nose. I didn't even know that. So, as Pastor Alex would tell you,
Yes.
Tennis, you hit your serve, and then what your opponent does will directly affect what you do next. And then on the next serve, you're using the feedback you got from the last point to think about, okay, where might I place this serve? Because last time my opponent did this. And they're doing the exact same thing to you. And it's this endless cat and mouse dance. You can go in with a game plan and immediately have to change it based on the behavior you're getting in response. This is a metaphor for social media and why Instagram Insights is like the most important tool, I think, that we'll share in this episode. You might feel differently because you get all of this feedback from people, unvarnished, in real time based on what you're doing. And then when you see that, you can adjust. So how have I applied this in my own life? I have interests in the world of church comms and in the world of digital media. I then share about those interests. And the audience basically says, we care about this one, we don't care about this one.
Right.
So then I can say, all right, maybe we'll post more about this one only. And if we're looking at individual insights, here's like the stuff that I would look at. I would look at views per day. We've begun tracking this. Instagram recently changed how they publish metrics where views is no longer an isolated metric to video. You also see it on stills. You also see it on carousels. They wanted a unified metric. What are they telling you? This is the thing that matters. Views are a proxy for attention. Attention is the most valuable commodity your church can possess. Social is a springboard. It is not the ultimate tool for discipleship and for forming people to be more like Jesus, but it is a springboard into those things. And it's perhaps the best springboard that has ever existed. This is a dumb thing to say. What's the best $0 social strategy? The fact that social media even exists continues to blow my mind. It is a marketplace where any person can have access to all humans that are on it. Guess what? More than half of the human population is on social media. I published a carousel last week. What did it say? Don't give mugs as free gifts to church visitors. It has 1.9 million views. For mugs in church?
And not the first time you've posted that exact content.
Rules
it's
for
literally repeat content.
It's a repeat.
Yeah.
Rules for church photographers. 1.8 million views. Camera angle cheat sheet for church services. 750,000 views. iPhone video settings cheat sheet for churches. 500,000 views.
And it doesn't matter how many followers you have.
It doesn't. And I could go on. So views per day becomes a really important metric. And it's, what Alex just said is important. We used to track followers. That was like what we cared about most because what was that? A proxy for our audience growing.
Yeah.
But followers don't matter on platforms anymore. Subscribers don't matter on YouTube. Followers don't matter on Instagram, TikTok, because you can reach people irrespective of if they follow you. Looking at share or send percentage is also a valuable metric to track. Instagram has said that the number one most valuable thing that a person can do on your post to send a positive signal to the algorithm is sharing it or sending it. It is the ultimate social endorsement that you can give. I care about this so much. I want you to see it. I'm going to send it directly to you. Look at your top performers. Look at your worst performers. What patterns emerge? Alex hit on this. Don't give out church mugs. Rules for church photographers. I have published both of those carousels multiple times. In the past 30 days, I know I said look at 90 days. In the past 30 days, my Instagram profile has 4.4 million views on content. I have published 8 posts. We are in a really hard sprint in Certified right now. And so I'm creating and writing nonstop in Certified. And so I don't have as much time to write new content for social. What am I doing? I'm just reposting winners from before. And this is maybe the best example of this entire section of the podcast. Fluid skill, fluid discipline of social. I volley over a serve, people hit it back and say, we liked it, or not. And then I go, okay, I'm going to do that again because it worked. And I know it's more likely to work the second time because it worked the first time. And if it works the second time, I know it's that much more likely to work the third time. And in a season where I have had not as much energy to focus on social, what have I done? Repost a winner, repost a winner, repost a winner. The byproduct of that has been fewer posts with greater effectiveness.
Well, and you just said it. What a gift for this season of your work life and your current social strategy. You're posting less than you have all year. And you're getting more views than you have all year. And it's on the back of you knowing in the Slack season what to double down on. And you only know that because of looking at these insights. So if someone's hearing this for the first time and they're hearing, okay, I knew that Instagram had insights, but I always just thought it was for another means of injecting dopamine into my body to see oh yeah, people like me and people really like the content I'm posting. No, this is actually an invaluable tool to your communication strategy online to get that feedback that people are giving. It's passive feedback in the sense that they're not DMing you, they're not calling you and saying, I really like this piece of content. It's more passive. But it's there and it's valuable feedback. And that gives you the confidence to know which direction to go with your social strategy at your church, wherever you're located and rooted, because you could listen to a dozen podcasts telling you about what the best social strategy is in 2025 and 2026, and they're all going to be different. And you are just going to pick one that resonates with you and you're going to try it, and you're probably not going to get the results that were promised to you on the YouTube video. But when you look at the feedback that your audience, the people you are currently reaching with your posts, what they are saying, how they're voting with their time and attention, that really sets the course for where you can go from here. Let's move on.
Let's not. I had one
Why
more
would
thought.
we?
I had one more thought. This episode right now that we're listening to, that we're recording, best $0 social media tools for churches. You can repost exact posts as is. That's what I did with those carousels. You can also repost within frameworks.
Yes.
We have previously done a podcast that was best $0 marketing strategies for churches. And that was one of our higher performers. To me, that suggests that the packaging of that post is what was appealing to people.
Yes.
Because the content within, I know sometimes we do a banger episode and it doesn't get the views, which means, okay, the packaging didn't resonate as much with people. The best $0 ... format I had written down as, hey, you can go back to this because it's a package that people will resonate with. And again, you only get that from publishing, which goes back to no weeks off. But if there's a principle that you want to remember, it's repeat the best, forget the rest, continue to test. That is the social media principle that will open up all of this for you. I apologize. We can now move on.
We can move on to a tool that has been around for quite some time.
Yeah.
Since as long as I've been working here, 8 years. The next tool is Buffer.
Buffer is a social media scheduler. You can connect up to 3 channels and have 10 scheduled posts per channel for free with 1 active user. Now, I will say I included this because I know how many churches love to use schedulers. On social sermons, we work with about 200 churches. I'd say about 90% of them want to use the scheduler feature that we offer them. I will say to them on our intro calls, just so you know, I do not use any schedulers because I have just like a 1% suspicion that something could go awry. Now, part of that is the suspicion that these platforms don't like it. And I will say, I have seen churches that use schedulers be penalized on TikTok. I am reasonably confident that TikTok does not like when you use a scheduler. It is not guaranteed that that will penalize you, but I have seen it happen on TikTok multiple times, and I haven't really seen it happen anywhere else. Here's where it does become a problem. When you introduce another tool in the system, you are introducing another potential fault line. So what that means is, and we saw this on Facebook, we've been seeing this lately, like Cloudflare goes down, AWS goes down. We saw this last week. We're publishing on social sermons, and our posts through our scheduler are not going live. And we use Vista Social, not a free tool, paid. Love it. If you want to pay, that's not what this episode is about. It's not our tool either. It's someone else's tool. I think a lot of Christians work there. They're always like, good job with your churches. I'm like, okay, great, cool, good stuff. Something had gone wrong on Facebook's end with their API. And that meant that the posts all failed to publish. So if I have a post that I'm expecting to go live, what's the point of a scheduler? To set it and forget it? Well, I see this maybe 3 or 4 times a year. You set it and you can't forget it because something goes wrong. Not because there's like shadow banning, not because there's like, hey, you're not supposed to be doing this, says Meta. It's just because like there's one more tool in the process and that one more tool creates an error. So this is the great free tool. Like Alex has said, it's been around for like 15 years. They also do amazing studies. Their blog is awesome. We have referenced their report many a time on the frequency of publishing on Instagram and how that translates to growth. We did an episode on that earlier this summer.
If a church is just posting to Meta apps, Facebook and Instagram, would you recommend the Meta Business Suite over Buffer?
Yeah, I probably would.
Yeah. It's like, it's great for the Meta apps.
Yeah, you just have to use Meta Business Suite, which is the worst. It's great in that like, hey, I can schedule for free. And I have like all the functionality. I just have to find a way to log in. Facebook being the only app that's like, oh, you want to access your page? Tell us who you are. What are you doing here? Like, can I just log in as my account? You love that, you sicko. It's 2025, Meta.
Yeah. They want you to sign in with your glasses this year.
Well, the number of churches that are like, hey, we're trying to add Facebook to the scheduler. But like the person that created the Facebook, Martha, she died. 11 years ago.
Yeah.
Or it was like Pastor James. He was our pastor 2 pastors ago. Why? Well, we set up a Facebook account in 2008.
Yeah.
Who else has access? No one. Well,
You're out of luck.
RIP.
Next, another tool we've been using for a decade here at Pro Church Tools Nucleus, Trello.
Yeah, even after their acquisition by Atlassian, which had us all on edge because when a beloved
never know
tool
what's gonna
gets acquired, famously Evernote. Oh, bending spoons.
Yeah.
Why do you hate us so much? So Trello is our project management tool of choice. It is still a tier existing that's free forever, free up to 10 collaborators, unlimited cards, and up to 10 boards. So Trello organizes their project management by boards. And basically there are these columns that cards exist in. And so you can track as one card moves from one from one list, which is just a visual column, to another. And so they're free forever tier, unlike Buffer, which is like, you probably want to upgrade. The free forever tier on Trello is like very generous. And like I said, we've used, bunch of project management tools, Basecamp, Notion. We dabbled in Asana back in the day, ClickUp. Like Trello is still my favorite. Our social media content management exists in Buffer. Trello.
Yeah. Awesome. Moving on. Linktree, still around. All these tools just lingering.
Oh man. So Linktree is a link in bio tool. They have a free plan.
There are so many of these now.
Yes, unlimited links. You cannot customize the theme or the branding on the free tier. So we wanted to mention Linktree because I use them on my, now I pay like $20 a month.
Yeah.
So I can customize the branding. I want to remove like the powered by Linktree.
Yeah.
That's why I pay.
Yeah.
Okay? Because I want to remove that. Because like I am glad to pay $20 a month for that. They recently introduced a new link that I can't remove.
Love it.
And oh yeah. So they have their logo in the top left corner. So it doesn't say Linktree, but it's their logo in the top left corner. Not my logo.
You can't pay them enough to
I'm
remove
paying them $20 a month. And
Hey, it does look sharp though.
Right. But you go into the admin and it's like remove Linktree branding.
Great.
And it's turned on. I've toggled it on. And then they're like, oh, you meant all Linktree branding. You guys are sick. Okay, so we have an alternative solution for Linktree we're going to include here, which is...
the launcher by Nucleus.
Okay, this is our tool, all right, little self-promotion. But it's not self-promotion. It's a free forever tool.
Yes.
It does say powered by Nucleus at the bottom.
Because it's free.
Right, it's free. Okay, the launcher by Nucleus. You can get it at nucleus.church.
But you can customize your colors.
You can customize your branding.
Yeah.
You can put in your logo.
Yes.
We're not going to put the Nucleus logo right where your church logo should go. Linktree, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Were they acquired? Probably.
Linktree, yeah, sure.
Probably.
Yeah.
Gotta get paid, I guess.
You know what I love about using the launcher for our Linktree on our church's page is that our website is also powered by Nucleus. So when folks click through the link in our bio, it's directly bringing them to our church website, which I love just for funneling traffic to our central hub, the place where you can take any next step at our church. That's what I love about using a tool that is also part of our website builder.
Why I think this is a preferable alternative over Linktree, aside from like my logo and my colors, is that now you don't have a thing that exists in your Linktree and a different thing on your website.
Right.
It's the same thing.
Yes.
Like you said you liked how my Linktree looked. Well, I've designed it to look exactly like our website.
Right.
But it's
And you
not
had to pay
our
to do
website.
that.
Yeah, I had to pay to do that. So now people click on your Linktree or the link in bio, which is the launcher, and your most important next steps all exist there. That's the purpose of the central hub. Now, when they go to your website, on every single page, the launcher also exists.
Yeah.
Your church's most important next steps. So now we just have congruency. We have more simplicity. And again, your branding.
Yeah. Okay. This sixth tool, free tool, a new one to me, Coschedule Headline Analyzer.
Yeah, I saw a meta-analysis circulating on X a couple weeks ago from PNAS Nexus, which is a journal. And we'll have it linked in the show notes. But basically the big takeaway was, quote, for each additional moral, emotional word in a social media post, the expected number of shares is 13% greater. And I saw a couple of replies that were like, we needed a meta-analysis for this. And yeah, you know what? You always just want to prove that like what we all perceive to be true exists. And we talked about Instagram Insights basically telling you, here's what's working, here's what's not. And when you look at those formats, like best $0 strategies, ... you can repurpose them. What about when you've done nothing? How do you learn? I remember back in the day using tools like this, Coschedule's Headline Analyzer, which you can find at coschedule.com/headline-analyzer, where you can type in, okay, here's what I've copywritten. How would you rate this? Is it a good headline? Is it a good hook? Yes or no? And they'll give you, feedback on it. And there are a bunch of tools like this. I find them useful, or I found them useful when I was first developing my voice. Like, before you ever are hitting the serve over the net and seeing what your opponent is doing to react and then making adjustments yourself, you're learning, okay, where do I throw the ball? How high do I throw it?
Yes.
At what angle to hit the serve properly?
Totally.
This is that.
Yeah, there's a mechanics to copywriting. And then once you've mastered the mechanics, there really is the tone, the shape, the feel of it that becomes personal to you. But super helpful tool to get some feedback of like, how is this? Because the headline on your website or the hook in a social media post, like it's really important to capture folks' attention in those first few seconds, in some cases like nanoseconds of somebody landing on your content. You want them to scroll below the fold on your church website to plan a visit to your church. You want them to stay for the duration of the reel, to hear the whole story of what picture you're trying to paint through that sermon clip or whatever. So yeah, an important tool to help you hone your skills when it comes to copywriting. Seventh tool on our list today, Auphonic.
Auphonic.com. You can enjoy Auphonic for 2 hours per month, which includes their AI-based audio algorithms. One of our favorite tools. On this episode, when I checked my email when Alex was talking. No, I didn't. I got 7 notifications from Auphonic that Tristan was running Auphonic on a bunch of videos I just recorded for Certified. It was like, audio filter applied, audio filter applied. This will basically make any audio you have sound perfect. So what is the application?
And it was good before AI.
Oh yeah, we've been using this for years.
Yeah.
And then they released, they're like, by the way, now if you record underwater, we can still make it sound like it was recorded in a sound booth.
If you didn't record anything at all,
We'll still make you sound basic. It's honestly amazing. It's free for 2 hours per month. Why does that matter? If the average sermon for a church is like roughly 30 minutes, you could use this tool and make every single one of your sermon podcasts sound perfect, irrespective of the acoustics and the mic that was used. It never sounds like AI-y, like,
right.
oh, this was obviously like filtered and sounds like fake. It sounds perfect. And you could use it for free indefinitely. There are a lot of free tools that are like, yeah, it's free for like basically nothing.
Yeah.
But like this tool is right on the edge of like, you could use it indefinitely maybe, and you pay for credits.
That's what I was going to say.
So you don't have to sign up for like an ongoing
not a
subscription.
subscription.
So if you were like, okay, like there's 4.3 Sundays per month on average. So like every third month, I'll have to pay like $1 for an additional credit. It's like, okay, great. I
go to a Pentecostal church and my pastor is not preaching for 30 minutes a Sunday. It's a little bit, we're in for a little bit more than that.
Sure. Then you're on an every other week. Half the time you sound like crap. Half the time you sound perfect.
Okay, eighth and final free tool for today's episode, Canva.
Look, I did not include Canva because I'm like, did you know it's free for nonprofits and you can make graphics? Why? Because graphics on social are like not going to perform well anyway. I included Canva for a different reason. Yes, it's free for nonprofits. Canva Pro has a newer feature, which is you can now upload any video, any audio, you can paste in a YouTube video and it will transcribe it for you.
Awesome.
For free on Canva Pro. Which is not free, but it is for nonprofits.
Yes.
And your church included. You're probably already using Canva. Canva is one of the examples of like, they got a bunch of venture capital and just have kept like making more awesome free tools.
Awesome free
and
tools.
Because it's free for churches, every one of those free tools is not an additional cost, which is great. I have used a tool called like Note GPT for this.
Okay.
I've gone into YouTube because sometimes they'll do auto transcriptions and I've downloaded them from YouTube Studio, but that seems to be hit and miss for whatever reason. I pay for tools to transcribe stuff.
Yeah.
Right? And
because if you want a transcription, you want it to be good.
exactly. Yeah. And the AI tools now are all very good, but most of them are still behind paywalls. And Canva was like, yeah, we're behind a paywall, but you probably already use Canva Church. And so now this is free. This is why we want to highlight this. Why? One of the greatest ways to repurpose social media content beyond just sermon reels is taking the transcription that you've now created in Canva Pro, which is free for you, but not for me. And then uploading that to another tool like ChatGPT and basically saying, based on this transcription, identify moments that are, and then you can define parameters as you see fit, that would make for good social media content. You're not using Chat to create original material.
Right.
And all you're doing is asking it to identify based on the transcription. And then you can look at that. Did any of those moments that got picked out look interesting to you? And then you can repurpose social media content from there.
Yeah.
Create a carousel, create a quote, create a blog post, create a newsletter, create a devotional. You can go back in the archives too. Like that's what's great about being in a church. You've got so many years. Here's how we like to do this. This is more of an advanced technique. You can, as a communicator, know that you are promoting an upcoming event. Okay? Let's say it's something to do. I don't want to use Christmas because that's too thematically important. But let's say you've got like a small groups fair coming up. Okay, so you go through a recent sermon, and you just are looking for this type of thing. And what you will notice is when ChatGPT like picks out moments that are useful, you can say, "Oh, you know what? That would be a great story, a great application point, a great scriptural exposition that we could use as a sprinkle promo to lead into this event." And the reason this will work is because you will have like 15 events, let's say, that you need to promote. And you can do this for 10 sermons in like 15 minutes. And then all you have to do is match the right scriptural, sermon part to a promotion you have. And then you can go to your pastor and literally say, hey, on this day, you preached about this. I've taken that portion of the sermon. I think it would make a perfect lead-in to this promotion that we have. So I'm going to hold my phone, and I want you to basically like re-preach this moment with this hook that I've prepared for you. And then at the end, lead into the small groups fair, lead into this. You're now going to your pastor and getting them on camera, but you're repurposing something they already made, and you're not requiring them to do more work. And now you've just created a new post for social, provide them the hook, then re-give them their message that they've already made, and then tie that to a promotion. You just created a sprinkle promo in one of the most powerful ways by using the transcription tool that was free, and then a little chat on the end.
Now watch this. If taking the transcript from your sermon and turning it into social content is a new idea for you, take this idea today, get your Canva for nonprofits for free, give this a try, start creating some new social content based off your sermon transcript. Do that for 90 days. And then take this episode all the way back to the beginning where we talked about Instagram Insights and look back on, hey, you've been trying this new thing for 90 days. Look to see what types of content, this new content that you've been posting based off the transcript, which types your audience is resonating with, which ones they're saying, hey, I love this, lots of shares, lots of views, and which ones are kind of falling flat. Double down on the ones that have been working for the last 90 days. Forget the ones that haven't been working and continue to try new things. And now you have like a really viable social strategy for the year 2026, regardless of what new features come to the platforms, what they're doing with Vine. Who knows? Vine is coming back. It doesn't matter. You have a really viable communications strategy for social media for the year ahead.
You see someone like Steph Curry on the basketball court, shorter guy, just pulling up from 40 feet, 90% of the time.
Shooting over the tallest guy.
Yep. Sorry, Wemby. Arms ain't long enough. Try again. And you think to yourself, wow, that's pretty amazing. What you will never see are the countless hours of reps that person puts in an empty gym. Title of this episode, Best $0 Social Media Tools. What we've basically outlined is that the best tools are the reps of publishing.
Yeah.
Those reps will then eventually turn into skill. And that's free. That's who's ever willing to put in the work, no weeks off, publishing consistently. We believe that's you. And that's why you'll be back next Wednesday. We'll talk more. Thank you for your time, attention, and trust. Scheduling, analytics, project management.
Give mugs.
Maybe Instagram was a mistake.
There's not 2 million humans that need to hear my opinion on that.